The best healthcare is there in ways big and small. There when we most and least expect it. We may not see it, but we feel it. It lets us know we're not in this alone. Everyone deserves a healthcare partner who never quits. One who's there for what matters. United Healthcare. There for what matters.
Want your boss to put some real action behind the rhetoric when they talk about making your workplace more inclusive? Find out how to hold their feet to the fire and demand diversity on the Diversity Dude podcast.
Hello there, and welcome back to the Diversity Dude podcast. I'm your host, Lambert Fisher, marriage and family therapist, award-winning author, and national speaker on the topic of multicultural awareness and diversity. And for those of you who are interested in even more positive and encouraging tips and strategies beyond what I share in podcasts like this, then feel free to check out my award-winning book, Diversity in Clinical Practice, nationally recognized for the unique way in which it addresses the often difficult topic of multicultural awareness and diversity. Designed for more than just therapists, if you are helping professional in any way, Diversity in Clinical Practice can help you meet the greatest variety of cultural needs possible for those whom you serve, and it's available in paper and audiobook versions for your convenience. And whether it be through my one-on-one efforts as a therapist or informing and empowering efforts as an author or speaker, know that my personal mission is to do my part to improve the world one strengthened relationship at a time. So, today I want to share with you a few encouraging words about avoiding ageism. So, as I've recently commemorated another grateful trip around the sun, I am reminded of a common topic of concern during one of my many multicultural awareness and diversity trainings. That topic being ageism. For as I've discussed previously, diversity includes more than just race and ethnicity. Diversity simply just means being different, and we can be similar as well as different in a variety of ways, including race and ethnicity, but also gender, sexual orientation, faith beliefs, political beliefs, socioeconomic status, and yes, age. And similar to racism, which involves looking down on someone and or treating someone as less than based on differences in race, or sexism, which includes prejudice or discrimination based on differences in sex or gender. Ageism includes prejudiced thoughts and discriminatory behavior influenced by differences in age. Now, while it can be easy to say that many ists and isms are bad and to not condone such around you if called out, I have found that many people express thoughts or behave in ways that feel to someone else to be ageist without even realizing it, because they may have said it with a smile on their face, or because they've done something that seems so reasonable and common that their internal warning bells never go off. And yet the impact of ageist thoughts, feelings, and behaviors can still nonetheless have a devastating impact on personal and professional relationships everywhere. So, to help you reduce the likelihood of falling into a trap of unintentionally offending someone by expressing ageist thoughts or behaving in ageist ways, I'd like to share a few considerations to help you incorporate these into your perspectives on life so that you can do so without making it your top life priority and still be effective. The first consideration is this. Remember that it's possible to discriminate against those who are older as well as those who are younger. I can also put it this way. Just as you can insult someone by casually saying, "Those old folks don't know nothing," you can also insult someone by saying, "Those young folks don't know nothing." They're both experienced in negative ways. They're both experienced as offensive because no one wants their age alone to be the determining factor regarding whether their thoughts or behaviors have merit. For even if you pleasantly surprise someone with how much knowledge you do have, despite what they expected, it can be easy to consider what you're saying to be a rare exception to their perspective about you and not to change anything and still dismiss the impact you can have in their lives. Minimized perspectives on a person's knowledge based on their age is not only detrimental to the offended person, but it's also detrimental to the person making the assumptions because in doing so, you limit the ability to receive and ultimately learn from the experiences of others. Those who are older have knowledge gained from experience on this earth. That can be a great asset in avoiding barriers that can only come from historical knowledge and experience, as well as repeating victories without the need to recreate the wheel every time to do so. And those who are younger can have valuable knowledge in the form of new knowledge gained from recent developments and ways of life that those who are older do not have literal years of experience learning and perfecting and may have more difficulty learning. not due to lack of intelligence based on age, but because a fresh and in many ways empty to those things mind may have more capacity to learn a new thing than someone who has years of alternate ways of doing things and not only has to learn something new, but also has to unlearn ways that have been practiced and reinforced for years. All are capable, but different people have different strengths. When it comes to knowledge, it's not wise to assume that a young person doesn't know their own history and that an older person can't learn new things. Examples of each of these things are numerous. Instead, it is in your best interest to assume the best in everyone and to let them determine and inform you of where their strengths and growth areas lie. Which brings me to number two. Consideration this. Don't assume that someone isn't interested in something just because of their age. There are many older individuals who have an appreciation for music, technologies, relational trends that typically reflect younger personalities and lifestyles. And when you encounter these individuals, you can either waste time in judgmental shock or worse, trying to quote unquote help them by convincing them that they're trying to be something that they're not, or you can let them determine what they're interested in and support their interests, especially as their interests may or may not match their abilities and maximize their potential to do such in healthy ways. Similarly, it saddens me to see younger individuals have what is often called older tastes, reflecting an appreciation for the ways things were done, quote unquote, before their time. And while you can knock those who are younger for not being more like their peers, it is beneficial to explore what it is that interests them and to nurture those desires as long as there's no safety concerns in doing so. So often people complain that the ways of older generations might be lost because younger generations are not maintaining those ways, while those in younger generations who do so are often singled out and not included with their peers because there's a stigma against living in both worlds. Let's not assume what a person is or should be interested in based on their age. As long as their interests aren't putting them in harm's way, then you do you and let them be them, supportively. And the third consideration is this. Make intentional efforts to make everyone around you feel valued no matter their age. You don't have to be an ageism activist to make the most of opportunities around you to ensure that no voice remains unheard and that age isn't an automatic disqualifier, older or younger, in order for a person to feel valued in your environment. Instead, if you see someone's voice being dismissed or minimized based on their age, younger or older alike, then speak up on their behalf. Sometimes it does mean a direct confrontation of discriminatory behavior. Other times, it can simply be done by saying what the other person was trying to say because your voice is heard when theirs is not. Support the credibility, worth, and value of someone's perspective and contribution where others seem to be dismissing it. Your subtle gesture can not only benefit the one being dismissed, but it can help open the eyes of those around you who may not be trying to have that effect, but didn't seem to do so anyway. Gently bringing it to their awareness may be the catalyst needed to start a new trend. Everyone wants to feel seen, heard, and understood. And it is perfectly reasonable for someone to not want any one single factor about them to determine how others see them, and that includes age. My hope for you is that you would be intentional about appreciating the knowledge, interests, and desires for valuing others that we all have, no matter our age. Remember, remember when you were younger and look ahead to the older life that you hopefully will get the pleasure of experiencing and treat others with the appreciation you would want to receive. Appreciating the unique contributions one's age brings to the table, rather than dismissing someone's age based on missing how their perspective can enrich your lives and theirs. And with that, I'll say thanks again for listening in to the Diversity to Do podcast. If you have any pressing diversity related questions that you'd like me to address on an upcoming podcast, or if your organization is in need of a shame free or empowering guest speaker or training on this often sensitive topic, then feel free to reach out to me directly at www.diversitymadesimple.com. And if you know of anyone else who can benefit from a positive and encouraging perspective on this often difficult topic of diversity, then feel free to send them a link to this podcast so they can be encouraged as well. Or share with them my award-winning book, Diversity in Clinical Practice, available at Amazon.com. And as usual, I look forward to addressing as many topics as possible in future podcasts to help you improve as many relationships as possible at work, at home, and in your community. And as always, remember this: you don't need to know everything about everyone in order to have a positive impact on someone. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a great day.
Tune in each week and find out how to demand and implement diversity at your job. To hear more, check out previous Diversity Dude shows on ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
Hi, I'm Shaletta Brundage. You know what my family and I are doing for MEA weekend? Child, we are going on vacation. And I mean a real vacation. We will not be crisscrossing the state or the country taking my son Andrew to tour college campuses. We found the right fit for him right here in the Twin Cities. It's Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas. This 2-year college will put him on a path to his 4-year degree. With small class sizes, he'll build personal relationships. And I like the free laptops and books. At Doherty Family College, he even gets free bus fare and free breakfast and lunch. This means he won't have to take on debt to get his education. And just think, my son, a Tommy, and me, a Tommy Mommy. So for MEA weekend, save yourself some time and travel. Do what we did. Go to dfc.stthomas.edu and set up your own tour at Doherty Family College.
Have you heard the news about the new COVID-19 vaccine? The FDA has just approved the updated vaccine, and it's now available to keep you and your family safe. So get ready to roll up your sleeve. These vaccines are an effective tool to fight COVID-19. They target the variants that we know are circulating in our communities right now. So make a plan for you and your family. Contact your doctor, your clinic, your healthcare provider, or your local pharmacist and schedule appointments. The vaccine is authorized and recommended for all Minnesotans aged 6 months and older. Stay safe this fall and winter with the new COVID-19 vaccine. Being a teenager today is a real roller coaster ride. Up, and sometimes down even lower. An organization called Treehouse is giving Minnesota teens the support they need to build resiliency. Treehouse is a faith-based nonprofit that offers teens a safe space to share their troubles and learn healthy coping skills with peers and caring adults. Right now, Treehouse needs more volunteers. Do you have a passion to help teens? And would you like to share your wisdom with a middle or high school student who's feeling hopeless? Then sign up to volunteer with Treehouse groups meeting in Bloomington, Brooklyn Park, Plymouth, Minnetonka, and Eagan. Adult volunteers are needed as mentors, drivers, support group assistants, program assistants, and to help prepare hot meals. Lift up teens in our community and help them find hope and joy by volunteering with Treehouse. Learn more and sign up at treehousehope.org. Click on the Get Involved tab at the top of the page. That's treehousehope.org. The teens can't wait to meet you.
We are Treehouse! We are!
It's not just another day in your life. Things are changing for the better. At Comcast, we see those changes, and we're thinking about how we use technology today to live, work, learn, and play. And we're building for the future now, so we're better prepared for the wants and needs of tomorrow. That's why Comcast is rolling out multi-gig internet speeds to more than 50 million homes and businesses before the end of 2025, making our already industry-leading network even faster, smarter, greener, and more reliable. Over the decades, Comcast has been your partner, working hard to serve your community, and will continue to be your partner. We're expanding our gigabits so you can enjoy the tiny bits that matter most.
You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African-American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast-quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.